Welcome to episode 1234 of FloWrestling Radio Live. I'm your host, Christian Piles. Joined today, the usual duo. To my right, Father John Kozak. He is here. Biceps obscured by the sweatshirt. They're obscured. Nice. They're obscured. I would say JD is mogging you today. James Raider.
Snap.
Mog Master. He's got his Iowa shirt. It's one of my favorite JD shirts.
It's a nice shirt.
Think about JD.
It's a good shirt.
So you know how there's like the thing like when you work with someone for a month, you've seen all their shirts. But JD has such a deep rotation that you got to wait months before the Iowa shirt comes back around.
I've got several Iowas.
Yeah, I know. We know.
In the rotation.
Yeah, quite the closet for JD Raider. Okay. Lot to do today, lot to get into. We've got some Final X news, some World Team stuff, RAF dropping some huge matches, U23 team. We're going to start a Remember When segment because it's June. Yeah, and John is going to sing that song. John and I love singing like 90s country just before the show starts. That's just one of the many treats you normally don't get to hear, but sometimes you maybe do. We go live a little early just for funsies. But JD, why don't you get us started here on a Friday? We thank you guys for joining on a special Friday show. We had special stuff going on here yesterday. Take your kids to work day yesterday. So yeah, thanks for adjusting.
Let's start with Final X. Final X Friday. Oh, I'm a little rolled.
That wasn't intentional.
No, thank you. Final X Friday, 2 Fridays away from Final X. And, well, 1 Friday away from one Final X series. Because it was announced the Trent Hidlay versus Mike Mack Final X series bumped up the week to Virginia.
It's very, what's the word? I guess fortunate, the way it worked out, because Caleb and I were flying to Virginia on the day that this Final X matchup was happening, 20 minutes from Dulles Airport where we're flying into. So I was like, oh, this works great. So I'm going to be there for the Mike Mack Trent True Love matchup. You know, they moved it for Holy Matrimony. So that's going to be great. And get a little Final X primer. We'll have one weight secured by the time Final X officially starts on June 19th, the next Friday.
In Freedom High School.
Freedom High School. That's right. I remember they went to a couple tournaments. They have a wrestling team. There were a couple. They would go to like the Turner Ashby tournament. So we would run in. They were a bigger school, but we saw Freedom. It's kind of like one of those newer schools up there in Northern Virginia, or at least it was. I
think there's a Freedom High School, Pennsylvania.
I think there's a Freedom High School almost everywhere these days.
We love freedom.
We love freedom. Yeah, we should have a high school. So that's going to be cool. I think that matchup is maybe a little more interesting than people are giving it credit for. And yeah, we can talk more about it as we get closer, as we get into, as I think the title says, John Kozak is giving his official predictions today. And so we'll be able to react to those, and looking forward to that. But yeah, June 13th, it starts at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then I think match 2, for some reason, is at 3. They're waiting 3 hours.
Prime time.
They're just making us sit around for 3 hours. I don't know.
It's got to be because that's what they would be if it was at Final X.
Yeah.
Right? They would have that amount of time in between because you would have to wrestle.
Yeah.
So
that's not like important. That's just how that event goes. Like you could just do it an hour later. It would be okay.
You and Caleb should just wrestle in between the...
Don't get him. He's driving me nuts right now. Because he's like, you can't get to my legs. And it is, if you make that the only parameter, it is hard for me to do. I can do anything I want except reliably get to his legs because I don't really bend as great as I used to. And
you literally can't get underneath.
No, I can't get it. He's got good, but I can do basically anything else. So I don't want to do that.
It would be a great halftime show.
Oh, it would last like 10 seconds. Because I'm not letting him do anything.
Okay, well, we do a little of that, then we toss in Red Panda, and then we go back to you and Caleb for match 2.
There you go. Yeah, maybe we do that. All right, we'll explore all options.
Let's talk Kozak, your predictions.
Yeah, how do you want me to do this? Do you want me to just speed run them through? You want to go one at a time, and you want to talk talk through them?
No, we're gonna argue with you.
We're gonna
for
argue.
each one.
Okay.
I am, no matter what John Kozak says, I am going to take the opposite. And you won't know exactly what I think, probably, but I'm prepared.
Okay.
I don't know John's official predictions.
Yeah, these are. I have released 2 previews. So if you read those previews, then you do know my predictions, but only for 61 and 65.
Oh, so just 2 of those.
Just 2 of those. All right, we'll start with 57.
Please do.
Weight order.
Start at the bottom.
Yeah.
Move
All right.
up.
I'm going Spencer Lee, 2 straight over Luke Lilladall.
Okay. Well, I would say obviously trend is one thing that comes to mind, and it seems like Luke is ascending. He is a U17, U20, U23 world champion who won the last match against Spencer Lee. Spencer, since the World Championships, has not quite looked the same. He struggled at Worlds. He had the RAF loss, and then we haven't seen Spencer against a lot of ranked competition, really since before the World Championships. And he makes it to the U.S. Open Finals, and he loses this match where he was struggling to finish takedowns. So I feel like Luke is a pick you can very reasonably make against Spencer Lee just because it's been going the wrong way. Obviously, Spencer, a year ago, he won, and also trend, Luke is going up, but you think about this matchup, it was like, I don't know, 11-0 or 12-0, and then 7-0, and then 6-2, and then a win for Luke. Like, it's going the wrong way. Generally, between 2 great wrestlers, things do tighten over time, so I recognize that. But also, you can see that, Luke is someone, he's still young, right? He was U20 last year, I think. I think that's right. So, he's still in that arc of improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you say that, but Spencer Lee actually had a really good start to his year. He went to Zagreb, and he beat some really good guys there. He beat
RBY.
He beat Toskayev.
That's right.
He beat Fuga Sasaki. He beat RBY. And then he went to Albania after that. He beat Horst Slayer. He beat Gamzatov. So he actually was pretty active to start the year and was looking like Spencer Lee of old. Let's see. His closest match in that time period was 10-2. So he was kind of killing everybody until Luke Lilladall. And so, you talk about whatever trend line. I also think like the way Luke Lilladall beat Spencer Lee with that last second headlock, are we going to see that again? Are we going to see Spencer assert himself more in like finishing a takedown, which he wasn't able to do, and he got to legs like three or four times? So like the way I look at it is Luke going to be able to replicate that win and keep Spencer from getting on top one time in a match or twice? I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't think it's as likely.
I think I went back and watched their matches the other day. Spencer didn't shoot his high crotch at the U.S. Open. All single legs, 0 finishes. And so I think if he goes back to high, well, actually, the 2 times previously he took down Luke, it was snap, go behind, and 1 high crotch. He's only scored off when he shoots on Luke 1 time. Or I shouldn't say scored, but finished it at takedown and got on top. Just kind of interesting. And then he had the counter, too, where he exposed Luke and just whipped him over. But I think if he goes back to high crotch, I think that's probably a better path to getting on top. And then he has a 100% success rate against Luke when he gets on top and turning him.
Yeah.
With normal gut, with trap arm, and with his lace. So
You did the preview for this one. Have you put it out yet or no?
it'll be out today. It's basically done. I just have to plop
Did
it
you
in
make your
thing.
Did you make your picks?
I am going Spencer Lee.
Okay.
But I do think this is a match. I'm not like Spencer Lee with the utmost confidence because I do believe in the trend, the ascension of Luke Lilladall. I don't think this is just these two getting closer because they're getting more familiar. I do think Luke is improving at a more rapid clip, and I do think there is something to the fact that Spencer wasn't able to finish his takedowns.
Yeah.
In their last match. I do think that is significant, and that Luke was able to take him down. Like, if he can avoid, obviously this is the MO on Spencer Lee, has been since forever, but if you can avoid the crazy first period and keep it close, you are in the ball game.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that is maybe not getting mentioned here is just like, what does, regardless of how, the fact that it was an injury or the headlock, forget that. Just the fact that you get a win, what does that do to your mind? Like, okay, sure, you think you can beat him. Sure, it's like, yeah, I can beat Spencer Lee. But until you do it, do you really think you can? And the role of confidence in wrestling is something that you can't really put your finger on, its impact or what it means. But, I mean, how much do you hear them talk about belief, right?
Now it's not just belief, but expectation.
It's like, now, okay, yeah, exactly. I did it. I should do it again. To me, this is it's a real match. I think all scenarios are kind of on the table here. Like, I think Spencer 2 blowout wins is on the table. I think Spencer narrowly in 2 or 3 is on the table, and I think Luke winning. Luke's not going to blow out Spencer Lee ever, but that's just not how he tries to win. He beat Antonio Mills 2-1, but I think him winning close is like, I think that is absolutely on the table, and it's a reasonable pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, even thinking about what happened last year, when it's like, all right, Spencer teched him, no problem first time, and then some time passes, and Luke definitely closes the gap, gets a takedown. You're like, okay, like Luke's coming, and then this year, whereas like, even if Luke comes out of that match and it's 5-3, and he loses 5-3, you're still like, hey, this is a match, just based off of the way that the head-to-head series is going. So,
and think about how disappointed Spencer was in his Final X victory. After, I mean, the whole narrative was he gets on there with Jordan and I, and he's just like, I got to be better. I can't do it. Like, well, where does your mind go when you lose? Right now, I think Spencer is a guy who actually throughout his career has responded well to defeats, collegiately at least. Right? He, freshman year he had a couple losses. He lost to Bresser. He lost to Nathan Tomasello at Big Tens, and then he smashed everyone at NCAAs. And then his sophomore year, he had multiple losses to Sebastian Rivera. I think he had another loss in there. Was that the pitch year? Also, and then he handles everyone at NCAAs. So he can respond well to adversity too. And he kind of knows when it's winning time, typically.
Yep.
So.
All right, 61. All right, so I did write the preview for this one, and I really struggled to pick a winner. When I started writing it, I'm like, okay, I think I'm going with Marcus Blaze. But then by the end, I picked Jax Forrest to win in 3 matches. I picked 2 out of 3, and my rationale was 2 things. I think Jax has improved a lot more than Marcus has since the last time they wrestled, and those matches were really close. Even though it was like 8-1 and 9-4, they were really close matches. I think Jax, and then so the second thing is, I think offense that Jax Forrest has, I think is super dynamic. Obviously more than Marcus Blaze, and I think there's just more paths to victory for Jax Forrest. So that's my pick, Jax Forrest.
Jax Forrest to pick. I think Marcus, 61, 65, I have kind of, based on what I think you're probably going to pick at 65, I think there's the more offensive guy in both of those matches. And I think that their opponents in these matchups almost have the perfect style to thwart the other. So I think Marcus Blaze has the perfect style to thwart Jax Forrest, because think about the Divino plan, right, and how Ben was able to beat him. And he was able to keep Jax off his legs. He was able to strategically get in. And I think Marcus has the style that can frustrate Jax, slow him down. And if you get Jax to start pressing and to start, over pursuing.
Feeling a sense of urgency.
Yes, feeling urgency that really isn't necessarily there, but I think internally you can kind of see it in Jax. Like, he just compulsively feels like he has to be scoring. And if you get him in that mind frame, I think Marcus Blaze has the style to beat Jax Forrest. And I do agree that with John that the rate of improvement since I think 2024 their Olympic trials matchup from then to now, Jax has improved so much. I think we've all seen that, right? And so that does factor in. I don't expect the match to look much like their Olympic trials match. I think Jax is a different guy, and I think Marcus has remained at the top since that time as well. But I think the head hands of Marcus is gonna really challenge Jax. And the fact that Marcus is not a guy that is going to attack a lot, I think that hurts Jax also. Like, Jax is a guy who is going to thrive off of exchanges that he doesn't necessarily initiate them. It's like your shot, your forward pressure, that plays into his slide bys. Your leg attacks play into his re-attacks and his exposure game. Marcus can slow it down, hold good position, and make this a 2-2, a 3-1, a really close calculated kind of match. And that's the path there for Marcus over Jax.
This might be the series where I am the least confident in my pick. I truly, and I've gone back and forth, and I don't know which way I'm gonna end up going. You want to pick Jax because it's like picking the over when you're gambling. It's just more fun that way.
Yeah,
like it just is.
Yeah,
rooting for those crazy points, but I don't know. Like, Marcus is so good at freestyle. It kind of feels like he's going to do this.
Who best benefits from a 3-match series?
Jax.
yeah. I mean, that was my thinking too. Was Jax, but like Marcus could just be that good with his head hands positioning, where all he needs is a takedown a match, and then he gets a step out, and then it's 3-1 with a minute left, and Jax is spamming stuff, and Marcus scores another step out or takedown to win 5-2. You know what I mean?
I don't think this being a 3-match series really helps either one. I think it's just whoever is actually better.
Yeah.
In this one, it helps them.
I actually feel like it does help Jax.
Just because the more wrestling positions they're in, the more it's going to lean towards
Well,
Jax.
no, I just think, okay, there's knowing what Marcus is going to do, and then there's like experiencing it for the first time in a couple of years. And I just think he has more ways to win. I think that's to Kozak's point. Once he feels what you're doing and they can kind of diagnose it, it's like that's what he's going to do in the match.
The Divino Open to World Team Trials.
And it's like, okay, here's what we need to do. Here's how we need to counteract the things that Marcus is doing. Here's where he slowed you down. And so in that way, I could see Marcus winning 2-1 in the first match and then Jax coming back and taking the next two.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for this matchup.
Yeah.
It's like 2 years in the making. We haven't seen it since they were both at 57. So much has happened since then. 24 Olympic trials. So it's like I'm so excited for it. Even if it's like it doesn't feel like it can be a boring match, but it could.
Could be.
Yeah. But even if it is, it's like at least
it's still so compelling because of who they are
and
where they wrestle.
Right. And this is going to be a rivalry into the future. And it's going to feel like everything is monumental. Every score is going to matter. Every little thing, you're going to be on the edge of your seat.
All right. I did ask the chat. Only 32 votes. Jax Forrest 53%.
We have a quorum. 32 is all we need.
All right. 65. I also did the preview for this. Also kind of went back and forth. I feel like too many people are just saying like, "Oh, Bo Bassett." It's Bo Bassett. He's gonna kill Real Woods. I just don't think I would be so surprised if Bo just comes out and smashes Real Woods. People forget that when Real is wrestling his best, which I think he's going to be here, I think he looked really good at Raph, regardless of who that opponent was. Real Woods, what he did last year at Worlds was so impressive. The people that he beat, he can put together a full match. He can win. He can beat Bo Bassett. With all that said, I still am picking Bo to win. I picked him in 2 straight over Real Woods. So I might sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, but.
Well, I think, and I understand that, and that's why as soon as this matchup got set, I did one of my videos talking about this matchup because I felt like there was this runaway train of consensus about Bo Bassett over Real Woods, and I just think if you look at tactically the overlap, okay, it's okay, you got a really quick to the leg attacker in Real Woods. How does that match up with and a proficient finisher with Real? How does that match up with Bo Bassett? Well, I would say Bo's hands not being perfect. If you can get to his legs, he can be dangerous, right? Or he has a vulnerability there. Where else is Bo Bassett potentially vulnerable? I would say parterre defense. Real Woods has the best gut wrench in this weight class. So I think the overlap of their technique makes this way more compelling than people are realizing. And one other thing that I've been thinking as I've watched Real struggle relatively compared to what we saw him do at Open, Trials, World Championships, and you watch him struggle, you're like, okay, maybe last year was just last year. But when you know there's only one date that actually matters for what you're trying to do for your goals on the world stage, he knew that June 19th was the day he would have to beat someone really good twice. And so you think about someone like, and these are different wrestlers and different people, but Sebastian Rivera was a guy like, hey, listen, I wasn't trying to peak for this ranking series or this thing. Is like World Championships is when I'm really going to be locked in. For someone like Real, it's like, no, it's always been June is the time I'm going to be my best. And I think between Pan Ams and RAF, you're seeing like, okay, he's rounding into form. And I think for that reason, Real Woods is a pick you could very reasonably make in this matchup. It does feel like, does Real need to tech Bo Bassett to beat him? Is a question I've asked myself. Is Bo Bassett's pace that overwhelming? Is Real going to be that vulnerable to the pace of Bo Bassett?
I think he could get up if he has a big sequence, holds Bo off for 30, 45 a minute, the first minute. And gets on top, gets a couple turns, gets up 6-8-0.
I was thinking 6.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. He can be good.
He can hang on.
And then he'll give up 1 or 2 late, but still enough. I don't think he has to tech. I think he's got to get up early, though.
You remember that Jesse Mendez match? He got up 8-0. And Jesse, that was maybe a criteria, and it was so close. Jesse almost ran him down last year. That match was insane.
Real was that way in college, too, where he would get up big. He was good enough a lot of times guys didn't come back and almost beat him, but it would be he didn't score any points in the second half of the match. Mm-hmm. He'd still win by major or whatever, but this is Bo Bassett. This is Mr. Machine Gun.
It's not just branding with Bo. Mm-hmm. It's reality. There is something late in his matches that makes him really, I'm not even late. His pace is impactful like 30 seconds in, like just the
chaos.
The swarm.
Yes.
Is crazy. He really does sprint his entire match. Now you think about someone like Aiden Valencia, he gave up that takedown at the end of the match, but Aiden kind of withstood the chaos. He wasn't I don't think Aiden Valencia lost that match because he was tired. I think I liken that match to it was like a football game, and like Bo had the ball last. Because remember, Aiden scored right before that. Mm-hmm. So I just think if that was a 7-minute match, who knows how the scores line up. And now maybe at 7 minutes, that's when Bo pulls away. But I didn't view that as a tank loss for Aiden Valencia. So if Aiden is...
He gave Patrick Mahomes the ball back with
Yes.
60 seconds.
Yes. and the Bills blew it. So, yeah, that's another part of me. It's like, well, Aiden didn't get overwhelmed by it, so will Real Woods get completely overwhelmed by it? I think Bo Bassett just beat him in a wrestling match, not a cardio contest.
I don't think Real's going to be falling. I think he can withstand it, but I do think there is something where it's like, okay, you're at 90% of what you were in the first period, 85% of what you were in the first period. That might be enough for Bo to go get one late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, again, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. There's, after this match happens, you're going to be able to say, like, see, I knew it because of this. Mm-hmm. Because you got Real Woods. He wrestled 24 matches last year. This year he's wrestled 6. He has not been as active. And so it's like, okay, that usually, if you're not active internationally, if you're not active on the freestyle scene, that's not a good sign of success. And he loses to Jordan Oliver twice. Mm-hmm. So you're like, that you can point to that and be like, we should have known, if Bo Bassett wins. But then the other side of the coin is, Real Woods, world bronze medalist. He beat Sujit from India, who is India's version of Bo Bassett. He runs at you, for 6 minutes.
Look, let's be honest. So he's got minigun. He's no machine gun.
Yeah.
Only minigun.
So there's that. And then also, Bo Bassett at U20s, he gets taken down and gutted in 3 matches, or in two matches. He gets exposed in another one and taken down. And if he's doing that at U20s, Real Woods is a whole different level. So it's like you could, like, if Real Woods wins, then you can point to that and be like, yeah, we should have known. Like, Bo had this area of weakness in his game, and Real Woods is going to expose that. So it's like you could make the argument both sides.
Yeah.
I will say we are rightfully talking a lot about Real Woods' parterre offense. It's very good. It's not quite Spencer Lee, though, where it's automatic he's going to get a turn.
Yeah.
On top. Go back and watch his Pan Ams. Like, there were some, like, Jamaicans and stuff he didn't turn.
Yeah. Well, Sion has been integral with their parterre defense.
That's true. That's true.
A lot of people don't know. And Sion would not want me to bring that up because he's not about getting any sort of shine ever. But it's worth mentioning.
And it could be also a scenario, too, where Bo's like, U20s, I don't care about. Whatever, I'm just spamming whatever. But now that he knows, now that he's trained with Virginia Tech, and they're like, dude, you have to defend gut.
He knows. There's no like, oh, yeah.
This isn't some key insight that only we know.
Well, and who works on their weaknesses? Like, I mean, not trying to say others don't, but like, it feels like Bo is a guy that is acutely aware of his shortcomings in wrestling and works to, just because the trend after losses is so strong with Bo. It feels like every loss makes him better, or even when he shows vulnerability, he's like, okay, I got to work on this. So, but it's kind of like the Spencer thing, and there's just some wrestlers you can't really simulate what they do.
Right.
I guess then again, if you get Jared Frayer on top of you squeezing your gut wrench, that's probably, you can maybe replicate it, but there's just some aspects that are just sort of hard to replicate.
No, absolutely.
All right. The chat says 59% Bo Bassett.
Well, and it's also like a lot of parterre defense isn't necessarily technique.
Yeah.
Either. It's like you kind of know how to defend a gut wrench. Like, all right, turn into it, right? Maybe roll the lockout a little bit, but a lot of it's like just being effing tough and strong.
Yeah. And that's what, I mean, Bo Bassett, Aiden caught him in that lace, and I was like, this is huge trouble. And it wasn't even, to your point, I feel like that fight wasn't even technical. He just like decided, I'm not going over again. I remember Gilman was really good at this, like locked up in a leg lace really bad, and like, I don't know, at some point you can find that in your inner being to fight.
Right.
All right, 70.
70.
Zane Rutherford, 2 straight ugly matches.
That is probably very acute.
Yeah, so obviously Zane has the pedigree and the credentials over Ridge Lovett. I would say Ridge has, right now, at present, seems to have more of a point-scoring arsenal, right? I think Ridge needs to force Zayn into attacking his legs, and then he needs to bet on himself that he could counter score. And I think that has to be. You can't let Zayn death of 1,000 cuts you, but I think they have to know that too, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that Ridge knows I'm probably not getting to this guy's legs, and if he's not on mine a lot, I'm not gonna have a lot of opportunities to score. So you have to go out and find. Zayn is just kind of faking in front of you, taking a single leg, running it out of bounds 2 or 3 times, and then just holding center. It's like that's probably how, if you're watching Zayn from World Team Trials and RAF, like that's kind of how he's probably planning to win. So it would seem to me like for Ridge, that's what he needs to do. And I think in matches we've seen Zayn, now we got to go back a little bit, but this guy has not. Zayn is really hard to argue against. He has not lost domestically since 2021. He lost to Jordan Oliver at the World Team Trials. 2021. And he's like, yeah, he's not wrestled a ton, but he's wrestled a lot. And he made the team in 22 and in 23 and in 24. So the track record for Americans to beat him is not strong. And Ridge Lovett is not a guy with the accolades necessarily to counter him or, to say, hey, this is a guy on the ascension. But his ability to score in exchanges, I think, is unique. And it's why this is an interesting match between these two, even though the credentials are, very outsized.
If you're looking for a reason to pick Ridge, it'd be kind of the same reason, although maybe not Spencer because they actually wrestled. But you've got Ridge, who might be ascending, or Jax Marcus. You're going with the point score. And we haven't seen Zayn a whole lot. He took a year off, and in the 2 events we've seen him back, I'm not going to say mediocre, but not as offensive, not as sharp as what we saw Zayn when he won a world title. That's why you were picking Ridge. Mm-hmm. The point scoring ability. But kind of to your point, it feels like the way Ridge has to win is getting Zayn underneath him. Zayn hasn't been doing that a whole lot recently. Hasn't been doing a lot of shooting in his World Team Trials stuff. So, I don't know. I kind of agree with Kozak. I think it's just going to be 2 ugly wins for Zayn.
All right, 74.
Boy.
Give me David Carr.
Okay.
David Carr, 2 matches to none against James Green. It's interesting. I think with David Carr, I think we're only going to see him get better. I don't know, what the deal was with Open and World Team Trials, but I think it could be good for him. Kind of figure out maybe some of his weight issues and stuff. So, give me David Carr.
Yeah, I mean, I think. I don't know what when you string together 2 back-to-back really kind of rough performances, I think you take note of that. James Green won the tournament. He beat guys that beat David Carr. He has way more experience than David. David's made 1 team, didn't medal. I think if you just predict based on upside and things like that, you could pick David Carr, but there's the reality of the guy's not. He needed a buzzer beater to beat Jared JQs. He hung on against Jaden James. He had I feel like he had another close one at trials. Maybe I'm misremembering. I can't remember I think he had 3 matches, and I can't remember the third. But they were pretty. Wick. Mm-hmm. Wick was on the winning takedown at the last second. This is not like just. If he had lost to Cam Amin, wrestled back, got 3rd, and then won the trials comfortably, I think it's a lot easier to say. But when you've got red flag match against Cam Amin, red flag match against Joe Seeley, red flag Wick and Jaden James and Jarrett JQs, it's like, all right, this is what he is this spring.
If you wanted to counter that, you'd say He got teched by Mitchell Messenbrink at the U.S. Open last year. Then he goes to World Team Trials. He barely beat Jared Jake Hughes there.
Yeah.
And then he went on to beat Mitchell at Final X, obviously, and looked great. And to this tournament, Jake Hughes is a guy, kind of like Mike Mock, that mucks things up for a lot of guys.
Yes.
And he wrestles a lot of close matches. Evan Wick is excellent. Phenomenal wrestler. Jaden James is a prodigy that could potentially be the future of USA Wrestling at 74-86.
Josie Kamamine.
He got teched by Mitchell Messenbrink at the U.S. Open last year.
See US Open 2025. Yeah,
The guy just hates U.S. Opens.
he hates US Open. He doesn't like it.
Not a Vegas guy.
Not a Vegas guy. I'm with him. David and I have this in common.
Or maybe too big of a Vegas guy.
Yeah,
I don't think that's true with David Carr, but
sure. No, it is. The trend is interesting, but what I would say to counter my counter, because I'm just being devil's advocate on all these picks, the challenge of Open and Trials versus Final X is so different. You go into it with 6 weeks training for one guy. I think that's a good thing for David Carr. I think that's something that helped him clearly with Mitchell, right? I think for James Green, and what we're not talking, all we're talking about is what is wrong with David Carr. But it's like, how does James Green actually score enough points to beat David Carr is maybe a tougher question. Is he going to underhook David Carr? Is he going to double leg him? Is he going to leg lace him? I think the points are going to be hard to come by for James. So that's why I think, I know why Kozak made that pick. It makes sense. But there's a lot of reasons to be uncomfortable with that prediction.
absolutely.
All right, up to 79.
One thing I'm also wondering just came to my mind, the Jordan Burroughs mentorship for David Carr, his intimate familiarity with James Green, does that factor in, or is Jordan kind of like, I'm kind of
Hands off on this.
a little more hands off. This is kind of my guy versus, my guy. I don't know. And that's a question I don't know the answer to. And I wouldn't be surprised if David and, Jordan continue to train together as they have. But that is something I do wonder.
Interesting, very cool. Also, you just talking about the differences in challenge that a Final X series with one opponent versus a tournament proposes got me thinking, which I know your answer, but I'll just ask for the purpose of the show. Do you think the Final X series could be, or the team selection process could be improved by showing a wrestler has to go through that challenge versus preparing for one person to make this world team?
Well, I think there's two different ways to look at it. I think on the one hand, for a sport and for having more cool moments and fan interest, I think Final X is the way you do it. I just think having 3 premier events, Open, Trials, Final X, is just awesome for fans. And having a 2 out of 3 that you can promote and hype and get people excited about for weeks instead of very literally hours, the way it was for World Team Trials. It's like you could kind of hype Burroughs versus Dake, but it's like you're just basically saying, if you all, because we were in this situation, right? And everyone was like, you're trying to promote Burroughs versus Dake, but also David Taylor, Andrew Howe, all these other people are in the field. So it's kind of like muddles it. And then like, all right, the match is set and it's in 4 hours. Okay. Or with this. So on the promotional side, it's good. I think we have not seen that at the World and Olympic or World Championships. We've been successful. We've done well. We've been very competitive with the best countries in the world with this format. I think if USA Wrestling said, all right, we want to have a trials process that perfectly emulates what you have to do to win a world championship, then you would do one thing, and that you would have one bracket and no one sits out. You just seed it and you wrestle it, and there's no 2 out of 3. That's how you would do it if that's actually what you want to do. We do this backwards amalgamation on Olympic years where you have like 3 different timelines going on where you got some guys that are sitting out to the finals, some guys are sitting out to the semis, and some guys wrestle the whole bracket and a 2 out of 3 all on the same weekend. So I think our Olympic trials year are the years that it's least fair, balanced, and least replicates the world and Olympic challenge tournament, right? That what that is. So I think Final X is great. I think honestly on Olympic years they should do Final X, or they don't have to call it that, but call it like Olympic trials, finals, or whatever, where you basically do the same thing, except, even a week later or 2 weeks later, or however you would do it, have the Olympic trials be a 2 out of 3. Because then that gives, NBC can actually promote something real, right? That they know what they're pointing to. I think that would be better for fans too. So that's how I think about the trials process. I love Final X. I think it's great. I think it doesn't hurt how we pick our team, because I think you, at some level, to make it to Final X, at some point you have to have navigated a tournament.
Whether you went through the world field and won a medal, or you went through a World Team Trials field.
Or open. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, open.
So I think that's what gives me comfort. It's not like these guys are just focusing on one matchup and they're just like matchup tactical experts. They've navigated a field to get to that point. And then all things are equal, and you get a 2 out of 3, and everyone's equal rest, equal preparation, weigh-ins are the same. And I think that that's just good.
If you wanted to counter, which I am not, because I agree that Final X is a good process, but you could say somebody like Chance Marsteller, when he beat Jordan Burroughs, gave USA Wrestling a lesser chance of winning a medal that year, which he didn't when he went. Whereas, Jordan's won a medal, what percentage of time he's gone to the World Championships. And Chance is notoriously good at game planning for one specific wrestler, and we saw that kind of play out against Jordan.
So you could say that.
Which again, Chance are in the spot, so
yeah.
he was better. I think he should have been.
But think about this.
Devil's advocate.
You're looking back from what had happened, right? But I look forward. Jordan never medaled again. Jordan made another team. He also didn't medal. So the counter being, Chance beat Jordan, and you could say on paper that did make it less likely for us to medal. But then again, we haven't seen, Jordan went to Albania in 24 and didn't. So I don't know. I get that argument for sure, and that's true. But more often than not, the 2 out of 3 winner is our best opportunity. And sometimes things go the opposite way. And also, you just don't know what was going to happen. What was going to happen if Gilman won the spot at 57 in 2023? I don't know. Would he have done better than Zane, or was he just not in a place where he could make that weight comfortably and have success? I don't know. It's a interesting what if.
Would Mitchell Mesmerink have medaled last year?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Valiev is a really tough matchup for Mitchell, and I think Sidikov's like a GOAT kind of guy too. So I don't think he does better than David Carr.
I don't think so either.
I would be surprised to see Mitchell jump out to the leads David Carr did against Valiev.
Okay.
That just could have been inversed a little.
We can get back to Kozak's Final X pick.
Yes.
Okay.
This is fun though.
All right. I will say David Carr got 94% of the votes, the biggest so far. However,
that's crazy, guys.
Burkhawk for Life wanted to give James Green some love, and it is deserved. He's 33. He's already made 7 teams, 2 world medals, and he's at Final X at a different weight than maybe his best. So
James Green, one of the, for sure, most credentialed, but I'll just say one of the best, I'll say, overall wrestlers to never win an NCAA title.
Yeah, for sure he is. He was a world bronze medalist his senior year. Wait, am I right about that? could be wrong about that.
2015.
He medaled in 2015. 2015 was so he was third the IMAR freshman year and then won bronze, but he was done at that point.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't wrestle in 16.
Yep.
Take it back. Well, basically, he was a world bronze medalist the year he didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Okay. 79. I've already started the poll on this one, and Chance Marsteller is getting 61%.
Dang.
Wow, that surprises me.
But he's not my pick. I'm going with Levi Haines. I haven't dove too far into like the head-to-head matchup. I'm more going off of vibes right now and just the trend where Levi is.
The Lee vibes.
The Lee vibes. There you go. But he's, world silver medalist, and then he went and won U23 world gold right after in a really tough field. Beating Usmanov, super impressive. And I just feel like that trend is something I really like. Now I know Chance Marsteller, master game planner. I will counter with Cal Sanderson and the Penn State crew, also pretty good at game planning. So that's just vibes right now, Levi Haines.
So what I would say, and just to continue to play devil's advocate, I think Chance, it's not just the game planning aspect, it's the actual wrestling matchup. And what we've seen, you think about Levi was pretty dominant this year, but a guy like Chris Minto made it really, really hard for him, right? And how do we think about Chris Minto versus a Chance Marsteller kind of match? And if there's positional problems that Chris Minto is giving you, I think it's very reasonable that Chance is going to give those problems and then some. And I would say Chance has more ways to score, right? He's got this arm spin. Mm-hmm. He's got leg attacks to both sides. He's a really good finisher. He's got a trick knee that, man, makes life really, really hard for a lot of people. 79 has been his best weight. It's not easy for him to make it. He's healthy now. He had shoulder surgery that he really needed. There's no doubt that Levi is coming off of an amazing year where he second in the world seniors, U23 gold, NCAA champion, beats all these guys. But in a 2 out of 3 with a guy he solved the Jordan Burroughs puzzle 3 times, he beat him. It's hard to say that Chance can't figure that out against a Levi Haines. And it's not like we're just getting this matchup and we don't have like a month of wrestling before it. We saw him at the U.S. Open and he looked good. He's wrestling pretty well. A year ago at 86, he was wrestling really tough against Zahid Valencia, right? It gave him a really good match the year Zahid was the most dominant guy. He might have given Zahid his closest match of the year where he smoked everyone at the World Championships. Chance Marsteller is a wrestling genius and has to be respected in this. And I've really gone back and forth on who I genuinely think is going to win this matchup.
How old is Chance now?
31, maybe?
Oh, he's got to be a little older than that,
30.
Right? That's it?
He's going to be 31.
James is 33. He's a lot younger. I mean, he was wrestling in...
His birthday, July 9th.
Yeah.
All right. I was going to say, Father Time has to catch up with him eventually, but...
Yeah, the Evan Wick match, 7-3. Chance did look like he maybe got a little tired at the end of that one. Also, Chance used the grounded position to his advantage a ton, and that's kind of gone.
He does.
And so, I mean, not that Chance can't adapt, but that he's not going to be able to play that grounded position the same way. Also, like, Minto and Marsteller are 2 very different wrestlers, different body types, right?
For sure.
But no, I mean, it's a match for sure. I feel like if Marsteller wins 2 really close matches, I won't be surprised at all. I think, I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Is there any way Levi wins handily, like 4-1, but Chance isn't close to scoring? Something.
Oh, 4-1, sure. I could see him getting a takedown and like a crotch lift off of a chance shot and then gives up a step out or a shot clock.
Yeah.
I think that's possible for sure.
Yeah, I think, man, Levi just is so good in his hand fight. He's gonna wear on Chance as the match goes out. Like, I don't know. It's a different, even just like thinking about the matchup from a Burroughs Marsteller perspective, it's a completely different matchup. So yeah, if Marsteller's weight cut's not good, I think that could be something that could be dangerous too. But I don't know. We'll see. 86? 86. Oh man. This is one I was like, I don't really have my mind up about 86 yet coming into this. I know all of the
game time decision.
It's game time decision. I'll go with Zahid Valencia. Zahid Valencia, I think, and here's my rationale. Best version, Zahid Valencia, I think is better than the best version of Kyle Dake right now. Maybe not his career.
We saw that play out
We saw it last year. And so
you could say maybe that wasn't best version of Kyle Dake, but
and
it's pretty darn close.
And maybe I shouldn't trust Zahid Valencia the way I am right now, but I trust he's going to be right. I trust he's going to be best version of himself at Final X. And so if that's the case, give me Zahid.
Kyle Dake, a year bigger.
I know.
A year younger. It feels, I mean.
Is he going to be that much bigger?
He looked bigger to me. He was wrestling bigger. I think it's not just like how much you actually weigh. It's like how are you able to carry your weight, wrestle, and hold up for 6 minutes versus how you were. I just thought he looked more physically impressive and, I don't know, overwhelming. But, like, man, that Parker match was really impressive. Like, he messed him up at the U.S. Open. After a pretty competitive RAF match where you're like, oh, okay. And then it's just like, no, it's not going to happen. Now, Zahid has the same angle I took with Real. Like, okay, he looked rough overseas. He looked rough at RAF. But ultimately, Zahid has known his fate this year is all about June 19th Final X and then the World Championships to follow. And he knows those are the dates. And when you know those are the dates, I think sometimes maybe it's human nature or whatever you want to call it. Like, you're just not the same every time out. There's some guys like Kyle Snyder. He's kind of the same every time out. And there's guys that are like that. And then there's guys that aren't. And there's not a better or a worse or whatever.
I'd say Kyle Dake is more like that too, where he's very consistent every time.
Very consistent. You're not going to see Kyle lose to guys that he would consistently beat. So I think Dake, he's basically also, he's a wrestling genius who has had over a year now, or almost a year. Like, all right, I know I have to beat Zahid Valencia to be on the team, to be an Olympic champion, a world champion, et cetera, at 86. And I think knowing that, it's like, all right, you're crafting a game plan that's very specific. Now, plans are plans, and everyone has them, but it's different when Zahid's your opponent, and that's the guy you're planning for. But I think there's a very reasonable case that Kyle Dake could play spoiler here at 86 kilograms.
Did you put a poll up?
Yeah, they're voting.
I'm interested
right
to see the public and.
So we're only at 25 votes, but
we have a quorum.
Zahid Valencia 76%. So.
Yeah, I mean
that's the safe pick.
I think so. He won the last 3. Final X, almost every year something crazy happens, and this could be the one, right?
Well, it wasn't that crazy because he went on to dominate the world.
No.
I'm saying
one that.
No, I'm saying every year something crazy happens at Final X. Like PJ beat Yanni and
right.
Chance beat,
I don't think it's that crazy. It's almost like the.
I think it's crazy.
If
Kyle
beats straight, no doubt.
I think that would be something we're like, oh my gosh, Kyle Dake just did it.
Well, yeah, of course, because of what we saw Zahid do last year.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a potential return back to what it should have been, like how Spencer and Luke.
How many teams has Kyle Dake made at 86 kilograms?
Zero. What JD's saying is, like, even the narrative going into Final X last year was Zahid, like, if he's challenged, if, Dake wins the first match, then he's just going to win. Like, he's going to win the second match. Like we saw it with David Taylor. It was close, and then, David blows him out the second.
Just like whoever I think is going to win. If Luke, I think if Luke is, even if he didn't have to beat Spence, let's say he beats Spence at the US Open, he gets the team. He would go and do very well at the World Championships, just like Zahid did. But if we're viewing that matchup totally different than what we're viewing 86, because of what Zahid went and did at the World Championships. But Luke just hasn't had that opportunity yet. But I'm not saying Luke would blank the world. I don't think that's the case. But he would win a medal. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we're viewing that matchup so much differently than this Kyle Dake Zahid Valencia matchup, based off of what Kyle Dake has done his entire career.
I think just seeing him lose 3 in a row.
Last year. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And also, like, it's not just the Zahid thing, right? Like, he lost to Kadyev and the other, Joev. I mean, they're really good.
They're 1 and 2 right now.
They're 1 and 2
in the world. Yeah. Joev beat Gasimpur, and then Kadyev beat Joev twice.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But I think it'll be a more competitive 2 out of 3. I honestly thought, and you can go back and rewatch, and maybe you would agree or disagree with me, but I actually thought he really dominated Dake at Final X, more so maybe even at the Open. I thought he was, if you look at just the efficiency that he was wrestling with, and like basically every time he went, he scored, it felt like he could have opened it up more. And I know Zahid left those matches feeling like, man, I could have beaten him worse. So that's kind of in the back of my mind too when I think about this matchup. But then, you know, it's Kyle Dake.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong one.
All right, 92. It's going to be Trent Hidlay. I know it was 3-3.
Sir?
I know it was 3-3 when they wrestled earlier this year, but that was right after Trent beat maybe the second best guy in the world, Azimi, and another really tough Iranian.
So when he was wrestling really well.
So after he wrestled 2 really hard guys, he doesn't have to wrestle 2 Iranians right before he has to wrestle Mike Mack.
We don't know.
Yeah, maybe Mack can make that happen. But yeah, I think along with that, Trent still won the match. And how is Mike Mack going to beat Trent Hidlay? That's what he can make it close, but how's he gonna score enough? And we're seeing Hidlay evolve too. So I'm going with Hidlay in 2 straight.
Well, all right, think about this. What is maybe forget technically, what is the hallmark of Trent Hidlay's style?
Underhook.
No, forget technique.
Oh, just
Run through a wall.
Psycho rage, right? Okay.
Rage Against the Machine.
Raging against the machine. I almost made another joke. But I'll keep it on the rails. I would say, can you have that rage against one of your best friends? Against a guy that's like, he's in the wedding, I think?
No, he's not in the wedding.
He's not in the wedding.
That was by design too.
That was by design?
So that he could keep the rage.
So you keep the rage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Look,
You're out.
Trent's going to bring the rage.
Trent's going to bring the rage. It doesn't matter that this is
This
a long
man
time
who
friend.
regularly punches himself in the face.
I know. Okay. So he's gonna maintain the rage. But it was still 3-3 last time. Mike Mock's punching above his weight. I mean, this guy, no one was picking this guy to win the US Open either. This was a shocking result. And I think familiarity can make some weird stuff happen sometimes.
For sure. And Mock is a guy like Jared Jacques who can wrestle a lot of close matches with guys who would blow other people out, who would maybe beat
For sure.
them and really muck things up for people.
Really muck things up.
Like, muck them up. You're going to trudging through the muck. But when it's all said and done,
Yeah.
Trent Hidlay.
Feels like probably the reliable pick.
Yep, 88% of the chat agrees. Trent Hidlay. Trent Hidlay. Also, Zahid was at 63%.
Okay.
And then Levi, I think my argument won him over, ended up getting 55% of the vote.
Oh, wow.
So, all right. 97 is Kyle Snyder. I don't know how you argue otherwise, but I'm interested to hear you argue otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen sometime.
Every dog has its day.
Every dog has its day. Stephen Buchanan, beating Hassan Yazdani. Kyle Snyder never did that.
It's true.
So, Steve Buchanan won an NCAA title at 197 pounds. Kyle Snyder never did that. So, I think, this was a match where if the U.S. Open didn't happen, I think we'd be more interested into it.
We were talking a lot about it in the office.
We were getting ourselves a little bit like we could finally have a close match for Kyle Snyder, and then the U.S. Open happened. We're like, all right, definitely not. Never mind. Got too hyper. Because the guy hasn't had a domestic rival since Jake Varner, 2016. We're talking about 2016.
Yeah.
We're talking Obama administration here. Since this guy's had a competitive time to make a team. So, I don't know. Yeah. That said, it's obviously Buchanan.
Yeah. All right, if I stop the voting now, which I just did, Buchanan 14%. So Kyle Snyder 86% lower than Trent Hidlay.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, heavyweight. Mason Paris, Wyatt Hendrickson. I'm going Mason Paris.
You are?
I'm going Mason Paris. He has the rivalry is 3-1 Mason Paris right now. Just teched Wyatt Hendrickson the last time they wrestled, which was in February. And, for all that you can say about Wyatt Hendrickson, Mason Paris, I think he is as good or better of an athlete. I think he has better leg attacks, and I think he's a more complete wrestler. So give me Mason Paris.
I think Mason Paris teching Wyatt Hendrickson was the biggest mistake he's made in his wrestling career. I just think that was a match where Wyatt's game plans or I don't know. I don't want to call it game plans because it makes it sound like that was the plan. I think he just tactically makes mistakes, and then he reacts, makes adjustments, and does better. I think against Mason Paris, he'll know where he can't go, where he needs to go. I think pedigree, hunger, all those relevant things. This is a guy that stayed in wrestling. He hasn't dipped his toe in football and things like that. He's been full-on focused on trying to win world and Olympic championships. And I don't know that he is better leg attacks necessarily. I think that's because, you got your coaches. If you got the best leg attacks, I don't know if your coaches are shouting in the middle of a match, no more shooting.
That was because he got choked out.
Do not shoot. No, it's because he gives up runarounds. And he's consistently, throughout his career, the biggest hole in Mason's game is he overshoots and he gives up go-behinds.
Against guys that don't wrestle him.
Like Isaac Trumbull doesn't wrestle him?
Kobe Merrill and...
Kobe Merrill doesn't wrestle him?
Kobe Merrill, no, he wants to push into him and force him out. That was in Colton Schultz.
Where's that energy when we're talking about Zare? I feel like I'm on an island anytime we talk about Zare, but now it's Kobe Merrill's the problem here. He's not wrestling.
I am not on that. I'm Kobe Merrill's biggest fan.
Do not lump JD in this.
Don't put me.
He's like, let me get out in front of this real quick.
Kobe Merrill defender, and I've had to defend him in this office against people not on this show very hard.
You have to.
Yeah,
I'm with you. We're arm in arm.
You say Wyatt Hendrickson has stayed in wrestling, but my counter to that with his performance at Worlds last year, and it's like did not look anywhere close to medaling. Where Mason Paris, he was able to get it done at Worlds, and so it's like, okay, if we're sending someone to the World Championships, I want someone that's already done it. And that has been way more proven against the field. Wyatt hasn't.
Well, I would say if he stopped wrestling in 2023 and didn't continue, you could say that. But didn't he lose to the? Am I incorrect that he lost to the guy he beat to medal?
But that was after he beat Wyatt Hendrickson. So that was.
But I'm saying
that's what Mason was focused on. That's what we're talking about right now.
Okay. But also, Mason smoked him. at RAF. Or excuse me, Wyatt smoked Mason at RAF, correct?
Yeah, and then what happened after that?
Yeah, I know. That was the setup. Wyatt's like, all right, I need to have a little bit of a
Who's got the
goofball.
RAF belt? That's what we're talking. Yeah.
I actually don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Wyatt. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly could have fun arguing either side of this.
It's very easy.
It's very easy.
It could be like the best series just because they're just going to go out and tech each other. And
It is the
This could be the only one that goes 3 with each match ending in a tech.
100%.
it's going to be fun.
It's the 250th birthday of America. You think that's lost on Wyatt Hendrickson, the great American hero? I don't think so. That's my
Oh, you're
final
saying
point.
like this year is.
This year.
Okay. I'm like
250.
19th.
No, not June 19th. It was actually on July 4th. But, this year is celebrating the birthday. Some people like, I feel like maybe more Gen Z than millennials. They have like birthday months. It's like a whole thing. It's like, I think America could get a month. June 19th to July 4th. We can consider that
I've been
part of the
celebrating
birthday.
all year.
Let's go.
All right. The chat says 59% Wyatt Hendrickson, which that's fair. I'm on board with that.
You're from Michigan.
also
You're
could be,
totally compromised here.
I might be a little compromised, but that's okay.
It could be a who has the ball last again moment. Like
Sure.
who gets the opportunity last? Who is losing with 20 seconds to go? That's who's going to win this.
Who's going to win? That's going to be the strat.
I hope it goes tech, and then it comes down to a last-second takedown in the third one.
That'd be sick.
Okay.
All right. Dang. Well, this took
That's it.
most of the show. We should go to. We can go to RAF odds and ends real quick just to announce that, and we can skip the U23 segment.
RAF is headed to Georgia, the country,
The country, Tbilisi.
not the state. They're not going to Atlanta. They're going.
They might.
They might.
They could
at
go
some
to
point,
Atlanta.
but they're not hitting Atlanta yet. Tbilisi before Atlanta. I assume this is to get a one. Sadulayev.
Yes.
Who will be wrestling Snyderman.
Yeah. So they
Awesome.
They announced Snyder Live 5. This would be their 5th meeting. Snyder trying to get that one back. You've got Marab versus Henry. This was supposed to happen, and then something happened with Henry, and he couldn't do it. But so those are interesting matches. But I think the biggest news is Ben is wrestling against Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah.
That is wild. Yeah.
Ben. As a friend. Why? 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 You don't have to prove anything to anyone.
I mean, I think this proves that Ben Askren is willing to do anything to grow wrestling, right? And Ben is all
Hometown Cedar Rapids, IO. What is this?
hometown. But it's like,
I.O.
you think about Ben Askren's like contribution to the sport, his style, his technique, but then also like coaching, and he really does. I mean, it's like he really does practice what he preaches, right? And this is just another evidence of that, where you do have a lot of people like saying is like, man, isn't this life threatening, whatever. And I don't think that's. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure Ben has weighed all the options with his family and stuff, and I think you got to trust it's like the risks are low enough to where he feels confident that he can go out and do this. And it's like, I don't know, the way that he lives his life, it's like this kind of, it's like for everyone else, it's like, this doesn't make sense. But with the way that Ben Askren has lived,
It's very Ben.
and breathed like wrestling and like, going out and taking risks. And it's like, you have to admire that. Right.
For sure. Yeah. It's certainly, he's a guy who has done it his way all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And him zigging when we think he's going to zag is like, well, should we be surprised at all? Obviously, I'm someone that I've always been like sort of on the cautious side when it comes to Ben. Well before this, I remember talking about it on the show after his
One of his knockouts.
Yeah, well, actually, the Robbie Lawler fight, I was like, I don't want to watch him do this anymore. Even though he's still really good, I was like, I just don't like seeing him get beat up. And then after the Jorge thing, I was like, dude, dang it. And so I don't know why. I think it's because, even before I was like, friends with Ben, he's just, one of my favorite people.
I forgot he fought Jake Paul.
Jake Paul.
That was wild.
I was kind of,
first one.
I was weirdly on board with that one because I was like, why not? I don't know. It was a weird time. It was like goofy COVID. It's boxing. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, can he beat up Jake Paul? No, apparently not. But then with this, it's like, all right, you were on the show a month ago talking about how you have like basically Papa John's implements in your lungs, keeping your chest together. So, and if something happens, it could be. I'm like,
It's got to be stronger
we
than
do like a no blast double clause.
yeah. Bilal needs to be coached up on what. That's my thing. It's like that's also what we don't necessarily know. Like, is this really?
Yes, it is. Ben would not take it if it wasn't.
wrestling match.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
not
are they
that type
telling
of guy.
Bilal? I was like, Bilal, would you relax here? Like, don't. I mean, also Bilal is not good at wrestling at all. Like, he is not. He is so many levels below Ben Askren in wrestling.
It's not the ability of wrestling I'm worried about. It's something like you said, where he just like
slams into him.
Yeah, or it, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I obviously am like more nervous than he is, probably.
The thing's got to be stronger than a Papa John's.
I know,
thing,
but
right,
it's like,
know?
how many people with double lung
Dare you come
transplants?
after Papa John's?
Yeah, there's nothing stronger. There's nothing stronger.
I've gone since they let off Papa.
I don't know. It's he obviously wants to do it or he wouldn't do it. Obviously his family's behind him, so who are we to say don't do it, Ben? But yeah, I mean my reaction was like, what? Why? Is this smart? Like those are just your natural reactions when you hear a guy. But like, dude, like a year ago, did anyone even know this? I feel like it was only a very small number of people that knew like Ben was in bad shape here, right? And he hadn't even had the transplant. I don't even know. He might have still been in Las Vegas at this point, before he got back into Milwaukee or wherever. So it's just an insane thing to do this within a year of everything he's gone through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he said like he's just ahead of basically all the relevant markers for someone that's gone through what he's gone through.
Clearly.
We're going to have him on?
Yes.
When is this event scheduled for?
This isn't the Georgia one, is it?
I don't know.
No. This is not in Georgia. It's in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right.
July 18th.
And he said this is the only one.
This is it. No more.
One and done.
Yeah. Unless he loses. Kidding. He didn't say that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It'll be insane.
Saruki and Covington's the only other match announced for this one yet. I love how it's just like Sarukian is just on all of the cards.
Yeah.
He might just not even fight anymore.
Why? He might not have to.
Yeah.
Just do Raph.
Do Raph.
Just give him guys he can
You
beat every
can't
time.
run out of guys. Now, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with him and Colby.
He's gonna beat him.
You think?
Yeah.
He's not as big. Colby's probably 2 bills.
I don't know. I just don't think they're gonna give him anybody that he's gonna lose to.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All
What do
right.
you guys think about Snyder Sadulayev, round 5?
I don't know what I could say has changed about the match from the previous 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Other than if you catch Sadulayev on a tired day or something like that. Feels like he'll win.
Yep.
And he's the GOAT.
Yeah. I'm curious.
What's the weigh-in? Is it 97 flat?
It's light heavyweight.
Of course.
I think it's
know what that means.
215.
215.
Yeah. So, I mean, Kyle will be bigger, but he's been bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it feels like Sadulayev will win 6-2, something like that.
Let's do questions.
Questions? Yeah, 215 is light.
We said we were going to do a remember when, but I actually have a 10:30 hard out.
Yeah, these rules are wild. That I ended up finding the rules, and it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what in the world? This is weird.
We'll get into that Monday.
Okay.
Before we get to questions from friends, shout out to our friends at athleteps.com, Nike Wrestling. They make amazing wrestling shoes, shirts, gear, warm-ups. You can suit your entire team. So go to athleteps.com. Go get yourself suited up.
There we go. All right, question time. It's from Slink favorite Worlds memory ever?
2017 Paris, Snyder over Sedgelayev.
So it was awesome.
For God, country, and individual.
Yeah. That was sick. I would say mine is probably Snyder over Gadisov in person, 2015 Vegas. It's like something different about being there. But yeah, if it's not that, then Snyder Liev for the world title. It's hard to just a mic drop moment for your career.
Yeah.
There's no topping that.
Yeah. I think for me as a fan, definitely Snyder, Sedgelayev 2017. Being there in person, I think is just cool to see Jordan Burroughs win what I believe is his last, world title. I think I don't know if I would be in my position now if it wasn't for Jordan Burroughs. Just like becoming a fan of international wrestling, like during the rise of Jordan Burroughs and like having that success. It's like, oh, okay, kind of a full circle moment.
Yeah. We're going to go to the All I See Is Gold Academy before Final X.
Ooh.
Jordan's going to be on the call with me for Final X, so that's awesome, obviously. And then we're going to check out his club the day before. So looking forward to that.
All right, another Slink question. What wrestlers are the best representation of their school's style? Example, Nolf, Penn State, DeSanto, Iowa, Cade Brock, Oklahoma State?
I think Nolf's a great one for Penn State. I would say David Taylor. DeSanto is a good one for Iowa. I would say
Metcalf, Iowa?
or Tom Brands.
Oh, yeah.
He was pretty good. I think Oklahoma State. Well, it's hard enough to say John Smith. It feels like you can't say Oklahoma State for John just because he is Oklahoma State. He literally is the entity.
Also, can we kind of drop these of like school styles because they don't really exist?
Not anymore. Yeah, they really don't.
I mean, look at the variety of different styles Penn State has won with, right?
Well, for a while there, they did have kind of a more defined thing, but then you got
It's just like one little kind of crop of guys.
yeah, I'd say two. I feel like Taylor, Ruth, Nolf, Nickel was a kind of a crew, and Zane was a different sort of thing. Zane was more of an Iowa style guy, just with insane top wrestling.
Yeah, and hands and pressure.
Oklahoma State, I
Zane
feel
was
like
mean.
I feel like Coleman Scott feels like a very, very much that Oklahoma State, like low level, high crotch blast double, like good on top, like twitchy from the outside. Jordan Oliver,
Yeah.
very Oklahoma State.
All righty. From Daniel Dawn. Percent chance the following guys try to make 28 Olympic team. Nickel, Gable, Burroughs, Nolf, Oliver.
Not make the team, they just try to make the team. I'd say 10% chance, just because I think Gable would be the only one I could see.
J.O. might. Although, because he would have to go 74. He ain't making 65.
Not going down to 60.
I thought that he wanted like a percent chance of each guy.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Let's go.
0 for a lot.
Okay.
I don't think any of them do.
Bo needs to fight.
Yeah.
Jordan's not going to try to make another team.
Okay. From G. Is Landon Robidoux the most improved wrestler from last year to this year? Dude just seems to get better every time he touches the mat.
It did not seem like Landon Robidoux would be a national champion after how PJ beat him, knowing that was one of the guys in his way. But I felt pretty quickly by November, it's like, oh, he's going to be a top guy. He's going to be in that conversation. And obviously being at Oklahoma State for his debut and just how excited they were about him. But I'm trying to think of a more improved guy. I mean, Bo Bassett is definitely a lot better this year.
I'm going to say Sergio Vega.
Oh, yeah.
Now, and hand up, I was off on Sergio. Whoa. Back when he was still Cornell commit. Because he used to give up so many points.
Yeah.
Go watch his Super 32 run, junior year, and he wins, but he gave up a bunch of points. And I was just like, I I don't know if this is going to be because everybody was like so high on this guy. And I'm like, obviously he's a top 10 big boarder. Like, he's really good. I'm just not sold yet that he's going to be a national champion level guy. Like, I just don't see it. I think he's kind of sloppy. He obviously cleaned that up. Mother effer didn't give up.
How do you go from sloppy to giving up no takedowns? I thought I really was kind of high on Sergio. What I would say with him, I feel like we didn't have him on the national scene as much last year, right? Was he doing freestyle? I feel like he didn't. And so you didn't have like those like checkpoints to see like how is he progressing.
He had a really good match with Bassett.
But that was 24.
Yeah. I don't recall what he did last year.
Yeah. So I'll say him. Yeah.
Okay. There was some super chats that I forgot to get to. So
do it.
Let's see here. We got a great one you're gonna love from 205 David. He wants Caleb Pyle's predictions after mine from Final X. So
okay,
can we get those?
We can get those.
Okay. Probably
he has
subscribed to Sports Dubs.
It's Sports Dubs 27. Dude, he had on his TikTok, he had a video that got 3 million views, and he went from like 1,000 followers to 8,000 in like a week. So
he's gonna be a bigger content creator than all of us.
Yeah, perhaps.
All right, and then Intercultural Aware gave us 2 footlongs. I gotta find his question because he didn't attach.
I feel like it's gonna be a deep one.
He wants to know if it's possible for all events to have each wrestler complete a bio. Name, school, 3 top 5 results. In U23s, many people were not known to a majority. Simple recap of the wrestler.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I don't know who, if it's something when they register, if they can just be in there.
Mm-hmm.
That would be tough.
And then Burkhawk for Life, a great super chatter, $20. He says, "Happy Friday, gents. CP is the host with the most. Kozak, I love your rankings. JD, you are a great voice, and I love your work on the vids as well. Keep up the great work. What match are y'all most excited for Final X?"
This is the toughest to answer, I think. 'Cause I could be swayed so many directions, but I'm going to say 61.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jax Force versus Marcus Blaze is the match I'm most excited about.
I agree.
I'm going to say 65.
I know, because that's the other one.
Yeah. I mean, you could
not that I know how it's going to play out. I don't. And you can kind of say the same thing about 65 too, but I feel like I have a better understanding of just what Jax is going to do and what Marcus is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like why it could be 65 is something extreme is almost guaranteed to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blowout or someone's going to fall off a cliff or there's and it's just, it could happen to either side. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you could also say like 57 and 86 and then even like heavyweight just because we talked about it's like, oh, it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
I think 65, I just have the most questions that will be answered that I am uncertain about. Whereas at 61, my question is kind of just whose style prevails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, some more Caleb Pyle's love. Joseph Floyd wants to know if we'll ever see Caleb at Super 32.
I would think so. I mean, if the way he is training and working right now, he's training like a kid that wants to wrestle at Super 32 someday. I don't know if it would be this year or not. It's kind of tough for his weight, just given what kids will do to make 106. He's like weighs 107, but that doesn't really matter either. But yeah, I think someday for sure. I think he's definitely has those aspirations.
All right. JD's number 1 fan. Which celebration is most disrespectful? Jet Strickenberg gun shooting, Chad Red teabag after the pin, Ken Webster spanking.
It's the teabag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the most disrespectful.
You got to find a way to put all 3 of
that.
these together.
At least the Jet one.
The Jet was.
It's entertaining as well.
No one was harmed.
It wasn't that. I don't even know if it's disrespect. I mean, I guess it's technically disrespectful, but that's not like the first thing. I just think it's like extreme and there's like out of pocket behavior. But like spanking is like, yeah, and teabagging are very disrespectful.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't include the ankle band throwing, but that was from a loser, right?
Yeah.
Different category. All right, Joe Gregente.
It's almost not that disrespectful.
Yeah.
In a world where the Hokies figure out how to start Eddie, Seidel, Bo, Henson, Guy, Nininger, Burton, Gorman, Sasso, and Mullen, where do they place as a team? Someone between Guy and Gorman isn't seeing them at next year.
Well, it would kind of obviously be Gorman. 'Cause I think he's a 41, 49.
Yeah.
Guy, 57. I think he's big frame. He'll be fine there. I think Nininger at 65 looks, so it's really like Gorman and Church are the guys who are going to, but, we're getting a lot of Hokie questions and for good reason, but I think Virginia Tech could be a top 3 team next year. The things need to go right, but not as, it does feel like when you have 3 guys being Seidel, Bo, and Henson,
That are guaranteed
it's
top
like
4.
they're going to be top 4, right? Bo Bassett's scoring 20 points. Aaron Seidel's scoring 20 points. I honestly think Henson, the only national champion of the bunch, is the one who could, on his not best day, score the fewest because he's not a big bonus guy. 149 is really tough. But even still, there's such a low floor for that team. Then Eddie's a guy that could be in the finals. He could also be off the podium. They've got a lot of upside outside of that big 3. So I think it could be a top 3 team next year, but I think the race is going to be competitive. I mean, Penn State, Oklahoma State are separating, but Nebraska's not going anywhere. Iowa State, Iowa are not going anywhere. So they'll need to have a really, really good 3 days to do it, but it's possible to do it.
Yeah. Dylan Campbell's the one guy I didn't mention who was
Of course.
really good last year and is going to be stuck behind Seidel.
Next.
All right, Sipped It. What are some of the best non-American freestyle matches you guys can recall? Off the top of my head, Odaguru versus Bajrang, 2018 World, Sidakov Chamizo, end of 2017 are 2 that come to
Crazy
mind.
one did Bone have at World?
Rashidov.
Yes.
He hit the 5 and then just hung on. He won 5-5 criteria.
What was the 65 in 2015?
Give Haji Ali a 4.
Well, there's Asgarov versus Chamizo.
And then, yeah.
And then Chamizo
Navruzov.
went against Navruzov in the finals.
Those are great.
Yeah, those were awesome. Romanov, Novachkov had a crazy one. It's pretty controversial. That went back and forth. 65 was really crazy that year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Just kind of like sit and just look through old brackets.
Heavyweight recently has had some fun
Oh,
ones.
man. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Okay. I got a couple more. Whisk Dad. Who will be Gable Stevenson's next wrestling opponent? Is the Zare call out a foreshadowing of something in the works, like when Snyder called out Sedgelayev?
I don't know, because it feels like he called out 2 of the least realistic matchups. Like, would Sedgelayev take a Gable Stevenson match? And can Amir Zare get anywhere in the world where he could wrestle Gable? So I don't know. I feel like those are 2 of the least likely opponents for Gable. So like, I don't know how you make those matches happen.
I mean, they're going to Tbilisi, Georgia.
But why would Sedgelayev wrestle Gable Stevenson?
He loves money, bro.
Yes, I think he like
Let's bring Raf to Iran.
rough.
I mean, Iran just traveled. They brought a team,
All right.
so they can go places that are not America.
I don't think. Yeah, we'll see. Color me a skeptic that those matches are going to happen.
All right, it's 10:29.
All right.
Also, it seems like Wyatt's the match to make there,
Yeah, for sure.
as he
Yes.
is.
Do you want to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on any?
Yeah, skip this one.
This one.
Skip.
Okay.
Skip, come on, Skip.
Come on, Skip.
Who wins
No.
Rabadoo, Jaden James?
I don't want to answer that because I don't
Same.
know. That's too hard.
Biggest high
No,
drop.
I don't want to do that. I'm going to be all fired up.
Sergio Lemley drops.
We'll end with this one randomly.
You don't want to end with.
Oh, wait. Let's end with the fudge.
Okay.
'Cause I got to go.
Okay. You want to do fudge right now?
Yeah, right now.
All right. Avery Lynch. This is an original made by me.
We can tell.
You can choose 2 fudge. I'll go first. E, vanilla fudge, and H, which
Sprinkle.
is
Sprinkle fudge.
Sprinkle. What? Dave?
All right, hey,
Like
here's
birthday
what I'm saying. Right here.
We gotta do better.
Avery, there is no shame in hanging it up and saying, you know what, I've run out of stuff. That's okay. You have gone so far above and beyond for what you need to do as a listener to this show. Your jersey's in the rafters already as an all-time FRL question asker. But if we've had to just pick fudge flavors, we may be running out of stuff, and that's okay. So I like it when we're making a meal or we're picking like a fast food joint, things like that. But when we're just picking fudge flavors, you're just not putting me in. It's not your best. And I think it's like the Jordan Wizards era. You don't even want to talk about it. The Last Dance didn't even talk about the Jordan Wizards era. And I worry that's where we are right now, Avery. So you can prove me wrong Monday morning with a banger. And I hope we're not. But there's no shame in you saying, you know what, retire on top. How's that?
With that in mind, give me turtle and peanut butter chocolate.
Yep, it's good combos.
Fudge too rich for me.
I don't like fudge either.
You can only get like a little taste.
Little taste. I'm not tough like you, Avery. All right, we got to go.
When I go to Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's is good. We'll be back Monday. Gonna have a special guest, Bo Bassett, joining the show. How about that? Can't wait for that. Thank you to Nike Wrestling. Thank you to you for tuning in on a very special Friday show. Thanks so much. A lot of Final X content coming out over the next couple weeks. Keep it posted on Flow Wrestling. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.